An American woman kidnapped in Nigeria today. Reverend Phyllis Sorter is a missionary from Seattle. She was abducted yesterday from a school. She was teaching there, and according to officials from her church, the FBI is desperately trying to find her and rescue her. Arwa Damon is out front with this story with our coverage. And Arwa, what can you tell us about how Phyllis was captured?
Well, it does seem as if this was a carefully orchestrated kidnapping. According to the police commissioner from the state where the kidnapping took place, not too far away, a couple hours drive from the capital, Abuja, 5 men scaled the walls of a school where her office was based. 2 of them were masked. They whisked her away, firing their weapons into the air to try to clear people out of the area before disappearing into the nearby mountains. There is, according to the commissioner, an investigation underway, but it's unclear exactly how many resources the Nigerians can really try to dedicate to try to somehow secure her release or even rescue her. Her abductors have, according to the police commissioner, asked for a ransom slightly upwards of $300,000, Aaron.
And joining me now, the former Navy SEAL John McGuire. John, Arwa was just talking about how organized this assault was. 5 men scaled the walls of this school, that they had clearly planned this out. They were clearly organized. How hard does that mean a rescue mission would be, say, for SEALs?
Well, let me first start by saying that my heart goes out to Phyllis and her family. It's a tough situation. I also want to say that, I served in the 90s, and our men and women in the military today are just so much more capable, and they're just getting better every year. But certainly, the missions that we do in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, they're dangerous and they're tough missions. That's why not everybody can do what we do. Certainly, the further away, the less information we have on the ground, the more difficult it is, certainly dangerous.
So a British construction worker and 6 foreign nationals were captured in Nigeria in 2013 by an offshoot of Boko Haram, this brutal group that we have heard so much about. They were killed. All of these hostages died, perhaps, at least Boko Haram says, because of a rescue attempt that was carried out in part by British Special Forces. Now, rescue attempts obviously have been tried before. One was tried, as we know, for the American hostages in Syria, right? They missed them by a day. One was tried in Yemen, and again, hostages were taken, hostages ended up dying. Should SEALs go in a case like this?
Well, we shouldn't know if it's SEALs or Army Special Forces, Marines, or who does it, but I think that all Americans are important. That's what we train for, and all Americans are important. So it is, in my opinion, as a private citizen, that we should protect all Americans. So I would say yes, if the opportunity is there, we have a chance of success. I think that's what we do, and we should do it.
But yes, you go in. All right, so I guess the big question, though, we keep hearing about these horrific hostage situations, and a lot of them of innocent Americans. Kayla Mueller, right, the aid worker who was working near Syria. Now you have Phyllis Sorter, who was there trying to help teach children. Is it riskier to be an American overseas right now?
Well, I think that when I was growing up as a child, there was a time in our country where our enemies were afraid to take our Americans hostage. I think the world is changing, and I think that we appear less strong or less of a threat. And I know that if you reward negative behavior, you're going to get more. Releasing a low-level deserter for 5 high-level terrorist operatives on paper just doesn't look like a good deal, and can only encourage or embolden our enemies or even copycat enemies to do more hostage taking.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it. John McGuire, as we said, former SEAL.